Whether you're new to dry herb vaporizing or just have never bothered to play with the settings on your current vaporizer, the subject of temperature control can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be, and it's extremely powerful. Like for instance, did you know that you could take a bowl of herb and use it at a low temperature during the day for uplifting effects, but then come back to that same bowl later in the day to go to sleep? Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff, and this kind of alchemy is not available to smokers. You have to have a dry herb vape to have it. So sit back, and in this video, I'm gonna get you up to speed and answer all your most important temperature control vaporizer questions. Well, that's a good question, and there is no single right answer. Basically, you're gonna use whatever temperature is best for you at that time and place. But I'll go ahead and give you some guidelines for the spectrum. We vaporize our herbs at anywhere between 300 and 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I know some people like to go a little lower than 300, but the lower temp ranges are between about 300 and 360 degrees. I have this one set to 350. If you want to use your vaporizer at those lower temperatures, you'll be able to get energetic and uplifting effects during the day and save the rest for later. On the high end over here, I have this vaporizer set to 430. And I think anything above 400 degrees Fahrenheit kind of classifies as high temperature vaporizing. When you use the higher temperatures, you're going to get more of the sedative and medicating effects that you're looking for. And then everything in the middle is just kind of a nice blend. But like I said, you just need to play around and find the temp that works best for you. If you want the strongest flavor in your vapor, you're going to stick to some of the lower temperatures like I have over here. The flavor is available at any temperature, but at the higher temperatures, it really goes away quickly. So in other words, if you start at a lower temperature, the flavor will last longer into your session. I think you'll get good flavor on the first 1 or 2 hits at any temperature, but on the higher temperatures after that, it starts to really wane quickly. What I like to do to kind of get the most flavor out of an entire session is I'll start low, like here at around 350, and after a couple hits, I'll bump the temperature up 20 or 30 degrees and take a few more hits until when I'm finished, I'm at a temperature like this and have really extracted everything over a nice long session. The flavor you get on that is incredible, and I really like that because you get the full effects without sacrificing the flavor by going into a high temp session right out of the gate. So you want some big clouds and big effects, huh? They're there, no problem. All you have to do is turn the temperature up. On the Lobo, the temperature tops out at 430. On the Volcano Hybrid, it's 445 or 46. And on the Extreme Q, it's 500 degrees. They're all different, but don't worry. All the vaporizers that Planet of the Vapes have been calibrated at the high end so that they won't burn your herbs. Nope, it's still vapor. As long as you're set to below 445 degrees Fahrenheit, it's gonna be vapor and no smoke. So you won't have any of that carbon, soot, or tar in your lungs, just delicious vapor. Now the vapor does get thicker and a little hotter and a little harder to take down at the higher temperatures, but still no smoke. If your vapor tastes burnt, it's time to either turn down the temperature or maybe shorten your draws some. The natural progression of the flavor in a session starts out really good in the beginning and then starts to wane, and at the end you'll get that kind of burnt popcorn taste. You can stop vaporizing at anywhere on that spectrum. When I first started, I took it all the way to the end. Everything was very dark and black. Later on, I started to really dial things back, and now I'm done when things are kind of a light brown at a much lower temperature. If you vape for CBD, stick to the higher temperatures. That's when those compounds get released. Anything above 390 or 400 will get the job done, but I like to go even higher to 420 or 430 to start with that. And if you vape for anxiety, CBD flower can be really good for that, but if you're just vaping some other regular flower or herb, the lower temps might give you more anxiety than the higher temps. So if you've got some herbs that you know kind of make you a little anxious, but you still want to use them, I would choose a higher temperature, pack the bowl and let it heat up a little longer before your first hit, and hopefully you will have boiled off everything that was bothering you. Well, I hope that helps. The most important thing I want you to remember is that there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to temperature. Just play around and figure out what you like and what's best for you. This is not medical advice. I'm no doctor. These are just my opinions after 15 years of using different vaporizers at different temperatures. There really are different effects that you can dial in. If you've got any questions that we didn't answer, throw them in the comments down below. We'll get to it and answer them for you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be there for our next video.